We have breaking news from Breaking Ground. On December the 21st, 2018, the government initiated a government shutdown all across the United States. The shutdown began when President Trump refused to sign a budget bill passed by Congress because it didn't include $5 billion for a wall along the Mexican border, which was his signature campaign promise. The president and Democrats have met multiple times in hopes of finding a solution and come to an agreement, but neither side has budged from their respective positions. The shutdown is currently the longest in the country's history. Many Section 8 landlords are wondering and concerned about, what does this mean for them? Let me help shed some light on what's going on. HUD, which stands for Housing and Urban Development, is a branch of the government that administers the money for the housing authorities. And on February the 1st, 2019, that may be the last day that funding will be issued during the shutdown. So hopefully the shutdown will end before March the 1st, because that is the day the next funding is scheduled to be made. In previous shutdowns, housing authorities have been able to issue back payments to Section 8 landlords when the funding did resume. Many of the housing authorities across the country have money set aside in reserves to continue to pay Section 8 landlords for a certain period of time. But now those reserves may or may not last until funding from the government resumes. And because each housing authority is separate, one housing authority may have only a small amount of money in reserves, while another may have much, much more. Unfortunately, some affordable housing properties have already had their rental assistance frozen, and some landlords have been affected by the shutdown. Let's go to Joseph White, and let's see what Mr. Brown, a Section 8 landlord, has to say about his current situation.
There seems to be a change of plans. Mr. Brown was just arrested for illegally evicting his tenant and kind of lost his temper. We'll have more details at 9 o'clock tonight with Breaking Ground News. We're signing off. It's Joseph White. Good to see you. Peace out.
With Section 8 tenants mostly being the working poor, the elderly, and disabled people on fixed incomes with little money to fall back on, evictions could create a crisis. That's why here at Breaking Ground, we have vowed not to evict our tenants if the housing authority does not issue upcoming payments. We urge our fellow Section 8 landlords to hold on and not evict the tenants. It is not their fault. This is why we teach our Section 8 students to set aside money in reserves, not just for emergency maintenance, but for times like these as well. If you have a mortgage on your rental property, hopefully the money that you have set aside in reserves can continue to pay those mortgages while the shutdown continues. An American government shutdown has always been temporary. So I just want to say to my fellow Section 8 landlords, it will not last forever. And when it resumes, you will be reimbursed. I'm Lamodis with Breaking Ground, and I'm signing off. Let's go to Joseph White, and let's see what Mr. Brown, a Section 8 landlord, has to say about his current situation.